It's a few minutes if it's 1 hour off time. And I'm gonna read you this from the VoodooBreaker.com video game. Most people are still trapped inside the tutorial, reacting, coping, repeating the emotional loop. It looks like normal life. But there's a point where you graduate, where conscious metaphysical training turns you from a victim of the environment into the architect of your reality. This isn't fantasy. This is discipline at the level of mind, breath, intention, perception, and nervous system control. You stop being dragged by fear, baited by chaos, and hypnotized by other people's agendas. The graduated move different. They see patterns clearly. They don't leak energy. They don't break under pressure. They don't need permission. They don't need validation. If they do start to break under pressure, they know their breaking points and they remove themselves from all activity and start to recover and just really laser focus in on recovery. They don't need permission. They don't need validation. I didn't even announce that I was going to start this live this morning. If somebody jumps in, cool. If no one jumps in, cool. If I've got a small following, whatever. I'm just saying the truth because I was provoked by a bunch of lies. So I'm just doing the right thing and telling the truth. And taking my challenges head on. I would have never came on the internet if it wasn't for one person and extreme psychological child abuse executed by a parent that one person should have been able to trust. Okay. So the graduated not only see patterns clearly and don't need validation and the things I just said, but they're trained. They're not lucky. That's all I do is train, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just learning and training. I'm listening. I'm not telling. I don't need to be right. I'm long. That thing is way back here. I don't want to see anyone fall. I don't want to see anyone fall. I have no ill intention or interest in seeing anyone fall anywhere in the world. I have removed all of that from me because it's not aligned with who I want to be and what I want to achieve. So this year, I'm heavily doubling down on mental toughness and my own study. And I do come to you as just a morning study partner, a fellow journeyman. I am not your guru. I'm not your senior. I will never ask you for thousands of dollars. I'm just here to study and get better. And I did it in our morning mastermind powwow. That's so crazy. I have about, 20 websites or something. And I had this charity project, me and Aaron Roberts, who we lost this last year, and a few other guys in this group. We talked about growing a mastermind on self-development and books like Think and Grow Rich and Carl Jung's philosophy and things and Marcus Aurelius, on just study of the greats combined with hardcore burpee sessions, right? And we all saw enormous amounts of improvement in one another. And we all were, and after about 3 years of it, you kind of feel like a senior, and you've probably helped pull up a few people in crisis times, and you see the goodness in this, and it was the goodness that helped you, right? It was the goodness that brought you out, that you got a significant work done in. So you wanted to find a way to spread it. So I will put in a short just after this video on this channel, Brandon Ancient Fitness, of the message between somebody, because me and Aaron were like, well, why don't we just put together some videos in a nice site and we'll crowdfund it. Let's try that. So we did that, and a few people donated, and I refunded all the donations because since I've been on the internet, I've been experiencing constant hacking one person told me about someone who had been hacking me. So I think it's probably that same person who has hacked me since. It's a ridiculous individual, right? I couldn't imagine ever. But so I was able to defeat all the hacks, and man, crazy. Just in one little chapter of migration between servers, we had a lapse in backup procedure, and we actually lost this beautiful epic dawn morning powwow site. And so I just refunded the amount that had been collected to advertise it, because it's like, all right, I've gotten several messages, some of them from evil sources, so some of them not so much. Like some, I've been getting real deal coaching myself from people I respect, saying stop worrying about the charity thing. Then our Stoic X Love.com Sunday group, a beautiful young lady who's been with us for a minute says 2026 is all about me. Sorry, I've had enough. 2026 is all about me. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm thinking of this person I really truly care about deeply, but I have to let go of completely, emotionally and mentally, right? Ruminator is now what she has become to me, right? And I don't know that the person that I remember is gone, and I have to face that fact. And it wasn't easy to kill that person. It took a lot to kill that person, but that measure and more was, all those boxes were checked and more, right? And I tried to do a tooth channeling operation, checking all boxes and more, right? But so there's a point where you graduate, where conscious metaphysical training turns you from a victim of the environment into the architect of your reality. This isn't fantasy. This is discipline at the level of mind, breath, intention, perception, and nervous system control. You stop being dragged by fear, baited by chaos, and hypnotized by other people's agendas. All right? We see patterns clearly at that point. We don't leak any energy. We just stay to our own program. That's what I'm going to be doing more and more and more. We're not going to try to break someone out of a psyop with the truth, because you can try, and one of my people that I picked to sponsor, because I believe you should pick some other people to sponsor at every step, right? She saw a video on YouTube and was able to exit her psyop from that video. So that's why I'm doing these videos, to be honest. And she said specifically, I don't know if another format, I don't know if someone's sitting me down and telling me, or me hearing it even in a group setting, but me seeing it on the video, right? Because so anyway, I feel like the challenges you face in life are opportunities to build strength, and that's why I take them on. I dissect them. I dissect myself, inventory myself every step of the way, and I'm trying to build strength. And I'm seeing where I'm messing up, and I'm seeing where I'm lying at myself, and creating fantasies, both in denial of something happening and imaginary evils. Both denial of something that's actually happening and denying that it's not, and fantasies of, it's kind of the same thing, but let's just say misses internally and figments of the imagination externally. We need to be able to really identify those, which I can't always, even now. And I really love Chase Hughes, because I saw him say, look, I did the work. I wrote the best-selling books on hypnotism and psyops. I train government officials on psyops. I have all I do is work on this all the time, and I still get caught, right? So, a lot of experienced dark Jedi deceivers will see a valiant person and want to test their skills out. You know what I mean? In the mouth service manipulation game, there's no real danger, is there? Unfortunately, the person just doesn't understand exactly what they're doing because their actions have been incorrect and they haven't had access to the reality which would propel them forward in the good side, right? Using that highest force, let's just say, of cultivation, growth, creation, right? Much harder to cultivate and create than it is to destroy. And it's this kind of intentional transmutation that we're going to focus on today, okay? Pain and danger, we're going to recalibrate that. This burns becomes data. I'm in pain right now, great opportunity to build strength to this pain. I am not going to succumb to this pain, to this falsehood, or to this deception. And the last thing that I'm going to do is become a deliverer of pain or deception and manipulation. I'm tired becomes a phase and opportunity to build strength. Not behind a moving car, all right? And not practicing your most advanced swordplay moves at that point. But definitely, if the situation demands it, you push through. If you're able to recharge deeply, you do it. Any time you can build up on sleep into deposits when need be, if you know that there's some serious punching and kicking coming up next week, right? I totally rest if I know if I have a fight. Not that I'm the most graduated fighter, but I was a little four corners golden star. People were ready to throw advertising money at me, but I was unable to decipher good leadership from bad leadership and what would happen, and see around the corners and down the line of where I was going to end up given the decisions I made down here. I didn't even take the time. I didn't even go out and take the time in nature that I would completely do that now, right? And so I went to temptation. I went for what was cool at the time. I'm probably stepped out of becoming a millionaire title winner because I was fucking good. And I've been athletically upper level, militarily, and in several other situations. My IQ and management skills of big missions with lots of moving parts has come out pretty well in several different diverse, adverse circumstances and pushes and constructions, cultivations, and creations. The 3-second rule. Toughness is won in the first moment where you want to delay. If you don't move within 3 seconds on it, you've already surrendered. But dude, and that means you need to build a 3-second mental calculator. And I have a whole channel called Psycho Schematics that's all about mental toughness and upgrading that navigational computer so that you can have a reflex decision that's intelligent and calculate and considering all the, you've played out all the chess moves for all the pieces, at least right there in front of you. Someone coming in from a complex small fucking little laser chink in the armor. How did they even see that? Shows an insane level of obsession on the enemy's part, but you can't be that mad at yourself about it. But if you mess up all stupid because you can't check your boxes and you don't know how to move in a conscious way, Stephen Herbert Bonner points out that nature teaches you vicious, deep politeness, one of its first lessons, and that's so true. And I like the Avatar movie has it in, you're stumbling around like a little baby. You gotta fucking move with politeness, is what it is. Respect for everybody else. You can't be polluting the noise. You can't be polluting the existence. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? That commonplace in human social culture today is completely on the opposite side of the spectrum for commonplace in wildlife culture, which these sterile classroom people are afraid of and speak as if it's a lower intelligence and hasn't existed for billions and billions of years longer than us. And because they know so much, they can't build a valid, deep relationship with nature, which I'm convinced the devil himself separated us from. Didn't ya? Come on, I know. Come on, man. Both sides recognize that I'm putting in the work here, man. Just trudging forward. I don't care how thick of mud, True blue. Self-command voice. All right? Weak minds vote on everything. They negotiate with themselves. There's the war in their mind plays out over fucking decades and days and years. No, that's what it's talking about. Don't be irresponsible, but strong minds operate quick under pressure and make the right decision. And they train for that. Okay, they put time into that. That's an ability that not everybody has because not everybody puts in the training. Brandon Angel Fitness is complete fitness, and we buckle down on training. I'm not a coffee drinker, but since we have better coffee, and it just so happens we have an excellent coffee product, and we're veteran owned and operated, please check out Epic Dawn Coffee. That's the powwow I was telling you about. You can fill out a form at the link below to join the morning mastermind. You've got to do a series of intake calls so that you can perform the prerequisites. Everything worth a damn has a rite of passage. We ain't letting anyone into our International Assassins Club. Self-command voice. Clean, calm, and final, right? No matter what violent storm is going on around us, our inner waters stay calm and we make the best decisions always. Cold exposure, heavy cardio, heavy stress sets, public speaking, conflict practice, rejection reps, video reps. Dude, turn on the camera and let me know how your video came out. Shit is harder than it looks, right? But we do the reps. We're not afraid to mess up in the beginning. Anyone wants to judge us? You know what? I'm trying to clean up my mouth, but F everyone. Do you understand? 2026 is about me. I'm going to do my reps. You want to hate on it? Go for it. Have fun with that. You want to support me? Give me constructive feedback in private we all recognize what it is. Nobody can support anybody anymore, let alone try to do something new and hard. You know what I mean? Nobody can support. You can't click the like button. You can't fucking do it. You can't subscribe. You can't fucking do it. The ones of you that can, you guys are diamonds. You are a diamond, and you need to go to the next step. Please, we need you. We need you up here. And I'm sorry, but You know, after all the liars, the Liver Kings, the Wes Watsons, the fucking Joel Osteens and shit, you can bring the truth as a mask with fucking selfish narcissists of no other fucking type behind you and all kinds of lies and secrets and shit. Or you can be completely honest and true. You can decide to do that. You can actually decide to do that and just want to see everyone win. You could do that. You could decide to do Toughness is earned by chosen hardship, not wished into existence. And please, man, I'm telling you guys, if you can just choose it and stack it up, there's a lot of risk out there if you think you're just going to throw yourself around like a video game character and hit a reset button at some point. You're going to turn around and be like, damn, I've lost a leg, I've lost brain power. You know, like, I might sound a little bit intelligent now, but you should have seen me before. My brain, my neurological fucking damage happened. You know, that's a hard thing to deal with by yourself. Your mind doesn't tell you the truth about that. That's self-lying for sure. You're going to have to be like, all right, wait a minute. I had this, and this happened to me. All these people are telling me, bro, you're a little crazy. You know what I mean? It's just like, fuck no. And then you start making videos of yourself, and you start watching the videos, and you're like, I'm fucking nuts, man. I'm fucking nuts. But then, actually, it depends which way you go on now. Like, we all got a fingerprint experience, right? Because, dude, the way that narcissists got to take 500 takes and pretty themselves up and have this perfect presentation every single freaking time, like, I'm glad I'm not fucking sick like that. I'm glad I'm not that type of crazy. You know what I mean? I'm glad whatever crazy I am negated me from that kind of crazy, because I think all y'all are fucking sissy little punks, man. And I bet you we'll start hiking into the jungle and I'll see it all over your face. I want to go back. I want to go back. I might just hike you way further than I ever planned to at that point. Nah, man, you're going to go back by yourself. All right. Have fun, because I'm going. Real is real is real is real is real. Jungle Gym is the next level. Come on down. Renacimiento retreats. We'll do this. I won't do you raw. Link below. nutritionaldiversity.com. Get the super diet and you'll be able to do super stuff right there, right alongside with me. That's my secret. Identity lock. That's how I cured the neurological damage. Not really cured, but treated the neurological damage. I'm trying to be more precise in what I say. I cannot cure PTSD, but I think I can treat. I feel like your entire organism will have progress and recovery and performance recovery, athletic performance, mental performance, job performance, using this system, nutritionaldiversity.com. The advanced level is when you stop relying on feelings because your identity is locked, right? I train, I speak truth, I finish, I don't abandon myself. And some stupid conversation with some stupid person you don't need hype, or even worse, some stupid drama, some stupid weaponization where there's an enemy I don't even know, but I fucking hate them or something like that. Or, you know, I love some big old celebrity I'm never going to meet. There's never going to love me back. And I got this person right here who's, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of, I'm glad I don't suffer those crazies. You don't need hype when your standards are your own internal self-written doctrine that's intended to be as high as possible. All right, so most people quit at first wall. and most people want you to quit at the first wall. They're just waiting. They're just waiting in this eternal bog of stench solemnness that they wish they could get out of, just like you are. And when you shine that light in there of, look, I'm out of it, they are fucking there's a faster, man. You probably cause them to have advances in physical conditions and mental conditions that catch up to bigger things later. That's what I think. I saw this happen with my stepfather, I do believe. And people have really weird ways of doing triage on themselves over long periods of time, right? You don't want to bargain with yourself whatsoever. You don't want to sit there making deals. You want to go to nature. You want to pray. You want to ponder. You want to plan. And you want to stick to that freaking plan mandatorily in a flow state to flow state productivity, like tri-setting or supersetting, where you're using different muscle groups but continuing to breathe deep. Oxygen and water are the primary elements. Okay, make sure you're getting a water diversity of clean water. They found 52 pharmaceutical agents that consistently across a bunch of U.S. cities. How did that happen? What is that doing? A gravity-fed carbon water filter, also nutritionaldiversity.com. Very easy to get. Works excellent to remove some of these things. And you can double and process. You could double up on 2 of them, and get it into your disciplined routine of excellent, complete health and fitness. Emotional detachment without emotional suppression. Detachment is not numbness. It's the skill of feeling everything without obeying it. You might have wanted to go out last night. You might have wanted to sleep in this morning. It's not doing those things that's the cost of coming in here and telling me something and showing yourself that you're worth a damn on your own without coming in here. All right? If I ever hear the word bored come out of your mouth, you better be testing me for a response, right? Because, you're going to get one. What'd you just say? You're bored? No matter, in a jail cell, man, pick up a book, start drawing a picture, start fucking burping down. Flow state to flow state, creativity and productivity. If you lose that alignment, I feel for your soul. And the whirlwind black hole, once you click into that thing, you're gone. There's no coming back. You're a living, walking zombie, and that's in all kinds of various degrees, that's going to use and abuse everything that's near them to the point where they've got to cut you off. And toughness is not surviving stress, it's benefiting from it. That's why I'm telling people. He's like, stress. You know what? In every facet of nature and the world, stress is a good thing. All challenges, opportunities build strength. Let's go. When attacked, challenged, betrayed, doubted, you refine, you sharpen, you adapt, you rise. Listen, I've told so much truth and showed so much genuinosity and authenticity in the face of such debaucherous, child-abusing liars. You would think those around the situation would now have figured it out, but they can't. Why? Because they never in the first place were able to change without dire consequences. All drifting nobodies, which is 99% of people now, will not change unless they're met with dire consequences. Cancer, now you stop drinking or smoking. Obesity, now you stop overeating. The husband wants to leave you. Now you're finally out the door. I remember, I'm actually really proud of my dad because he has a lot of backbone, and he's just like, enough is enough. I'm not putting up with this shit. Whatever I gotta sacrifice, whoever's couch I gotta sleep on for a while, whatever I gotta lose, I gotta cut this bullshit out of my life, And I know he didn't want to lose my mother's parents, which were the best parents in the whole world. you know, but he did want to cut loose this perfect example of genetics over environment because she was adopted, right? That was it's just Jerry Springer lady times 5,000 in every fucking way. You know, she don't care about nobody or nothing, and that's up until her 70s, and you can call her out, and the people around her will still they'll just deal with it, you know, because they got no morality themselves, man. You got to be able to change and better yourself and draw standards and prune, curate, create, weed your garden of the invasive species that are going to mess up everything if you let them take over, right? It's so funny. One of the areas I work in Colombia, they've got one that's doing that from the Congo called the Black-Eyed Susan, right? I wonder why our eyes are, you know, they're out of line. Joe, I'm just playing. No, I do not condone any violence whatsoever. No physical violence, no manipulative violence, no using the system to destroy somebody with false reports and allegations and false addresses. I don't support anything false, nothing fake, all true. Weak minds ask, why is this happening to me? Strong minds ask, how is this training me? Where's the truth? Strong minds say, what's the truth of this? What's really going on here? Well, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But I want you to know that I heard that. I won't forget it. And I'll be checking all sources out on it all the time. Yes, I love you. Yes, I trust you. And know that you can trust me too. And that everybody I hear, everything that I hear from everybody, even the ones that I love and trust already, is going to be verified. That is how thorough I am. Don't like it? Fuck off. Tough shit. That is how thorough I am. What, you don't like it? Tough shit. Where's the big hitters at that actually have respect for this higher level right here? Got it? Solitude, endurance. Solitude, endurance. The strongest people can hold the line without applause. They don't need credit, rescue, validation. Nobody's in this room. I'm still doing what I'm doing because I do it because it's the right thing to do in the circumstances that I'm in and outside of the circumstances that I'm in if I'm truly tough and that I'm just telling the truth over and over and over and over. When someone has lied about me over and over and over and there's someone innocent stuck in the middle, I'm just going to tell truth and donate who I really am and what I really care about and real true study and self-betterment to where you can build mental toughness that can fight through a lot of these modern challenges like a leader, like a knight, like the person who saves the whole city. You know, there's some people that'll go find the dragon and tell him where the fucking city is. Give me a couple gold pieces, right? Sell out everybody, their own children. Truth tolerance. And of course, they're not going to tell you that. Of course, they've got a whole other story. And if you're believing it, did you just put some gasoline in the devil's tank? And now that motor's going to run. That mouth motor is going to run. They're going to be doing mouth service all over the fucking place, recruiting, you know, hooking in every kind of dirty person. All right. Your ultimate toughness is facing what's real, your patterns, your flaws, your mistakes, the mirror, your addiction, even to comfort, even to trauma bond to a liar, your blind spots. If you look at your own mind clearly, you can become in a good way dangerous. Everything in this channel is in a good way. Your intentions are everything. There is another video, or no, on the Psycho Schematics channel, there's a video about intentions are everything, right? And, you know, I've been thinking about I had seen recently that Marquise 50 Cent's oldest son was even taken out of his dad's will, right? Because of the psyop that his mother did to him, turning him into an entitled, spoiled, delusioned victim, right? Mentality. Bitch that is really never going to get. He could get immense amounts of respect if he was to become an advocate for other kids in his situation. Say, look, this is really what happened. This, my mom actually did this. She needs to hear this too. She needs to accept this too. She needs to write this. This is a huge injustice. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not the judge and the jury, but to me, I need to say this, and other kids need to put their parents in their place. I need to really, if you have received decades of abuse, a decade of abuse, 1 year of abuse, Elizabeth Smart only had 9 months of abuse, all right? If you have received that level of abuse, you've got work to do, man. All of us have work to do. Let's just say you don't have the dire consequences of that level of abuse. If you're truly badass, you've got work to do. Anytime I see someone who can start making changes without facing dire consequences, I know that guy's going to the moon, or gal, right? They go to the James Bond and James Bondette category in my mind. I love you guys. I would like to see you in this category. Again, I have no ill will or ill intention towards anyone. Will I bring hard truth? Yes. Will I be brutally honest about things much more than the average bear? Yes. Will I, and that's what you want. And that's what you want. Do I know that I'm going to communicate with a very small few? Have I done my... I put my feelers out. I did my investigations. A couple of times, I had a bad read on social media and who's big in it and what it takes to be there. Yeah. That's another crazy I am glad I'm not suffering from. So, that being said, though, I do want to execute on my breadcrumb mission, leaving the truth as much as possible mission. And we can study together, right? Like I'm your study partner. So I'll be studying every Friday and Saturday morning on Brandon Angel Fitness, every Monday through Wednesday on psychoschematics. And every Thursdays, you can join the powwow too. Go to epicdawn.org or click on the link below. I know some of the websites, like I said, we had this hack. I've been getting hacked ever since I yeah. All right. Much love to all of you guys. And dear Lord, please, I pray this message gets through the right ears at the right times. I pray that we can come together and find that true strength where we can support each other and uplift each other. We can stop paying attention to what Diddy paid for and more about what's in our local sphere, that we actually have levers to pull in, that we can actually truly uplift and support, and stop missing these opportunities to get riled up into politics and riled up into things, again, that we don't have levers that we can control, that we can decipher. We don't have levers to control, and we need to opt out. And so, and that's mostly me. Then that's all of us, man. Let's discern between honesty and dishonesty, and where we want to be in that completely. And I pray for all of us in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.